Yo, what's up, chocolate boy? You milk chocolate today or dark chocolate?
Can't you see my heart is rushing out?
What's up, Eat Meats?
I can see the lights up on your train. Would you go with me?
Not yet. Not yet time for the APY.
All the fantasies, no the dream. Can't you see this sky is falling down? Can't you see us there?
Famous last words.
Will you go with me to discover all the memories in our
When it comes out. When it comes out on the 30th, hopefully. I'm gonna sell the house, mortgage everything, sell the gold, sell my cat, get that sweet APY. I almost hope they keep pushing it back so I got more time for this volatility trade to work out.
Can't you see my heart is rushing out?
I'm in B-Vol right now on FTX.
On your train. Would you go with me to discover all the fantasies, no the dream? Can't you see this sky is falling down?
Nick is in chocolate. It's a product that attempts to track implied volatility. It's got it's got a lot of premium. All chocolate, exactly.
All the memories in our
All right, let's get into it. Welcome everybody to Wednesday. I hope you're having an amazing day. I hope your trades are working out for you. Let's just quiet this down a little bit more. There we go. All right, a couple of things before we start off here. Let's take a look at the left side scene. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm just a trader trading my own shit. For all the tools that I use on the stream, they can be found on the bapigindicator.com website. These guys make the best mathematics-based indicators on TradingView. Upgrade your trading. Get away from all the nonsense of TA. These tools are extremely powerful. I can't stress it enough. There's a referral link in the description of the stream. There's also a link to our Discord. Come hang out, come ask questions, hopefully smart ones after you've learned some concepts, and come spot some occurrences, make some money. All right. Also, I'm on Twitter. Come follow me there as well for updates that are not seen on the stream. I do my best to spot out some occurrences and hopefully post those before before they go away. TradingView is a lucky platform which was graced by BA changed their bum lives. True. True. It's an extremely well kept secret. I don't understand how people aren't on this, but whatever. Anyways, let's take a look at the markets. Let's start off with the indices here. How did the world do yesterday? Ooh, Australia actually putting in a decent down day. A couple of things we were talking about yesterday was the shared low HVP readings across many indices. Pay attention to this. If you are long on markets, maybe it would make sense to buy some insurance. If you are like me and looking at this as a trading opportunity, maybe it's time to take some volatility positions. This is pretty crazy, especially if you consider that it's extremely low on the weekly time frames as well. This can take some time. Obviously, you know, we're talking years here. Yeah, 120 weeks is 2 years. So, but because we do have it on the daily as well, we don't get to kind of judge when it comes in. We just make the assumption that, hey, in the future, this is likely to be higher. This down move, very similar to Bitcoin picking up as the SSR is outside of the top band here, suggesting it's unlikely to persist in this extreme fashion for very long. We'll have to wait and see once this turns. Mom is extremely negative here as well. HVZ is extremely tight band here. We have had events like this in the past. They did end up leading to some volatility. Like this part here. Actually, this was in cooling HVP environment, so a little bit different here. All right, let's take a look at the Germany 30. Germany 30 was looking like one of the strongest markets. Actually, I don't know if any of you guys follow the Keith guy, the hedge eye guy using the Mandelbrot magic, whatever the fuck he does. He was shouting out this market today, so this will probably have quite a few eyes on it. We see entropy ticking down. We see again volatility extremely low while it's making new highs. I would really want to be protected against the the sudden Soros scandal, if you will, on something like this. So far so good though. Mom's positive, entropy ticking down. Your tools are very likely to work here, and SSR moving up still, but it doesn't have too much room to run to the upside if we continue in this fashion. Russia putting in another down day yesterday. The one thing I would want to say on Russia is that you're very likely to see higher and higher volatility, especially on the weekly here. It is quite a low reading. On this up move, you were outside of the band, suggesting it's not going to persist in such a fashion. We are seeing the mean reversion move now. What's up, Madden Lift? How you doing? All right, let's take a look at the daily again. When is this likely to turn around or give us some sort of bounce? It's not quite at the bouncer yet. This is what the new tool is very, very good at. It's attempting to keep you in this, I don't want to say short trade. It's attempting to keep you out of this market for as long as possible and switch when it's significant. Not when it just bounces a little bit, you know, like all the TA crosses and whatnot. Belarus is my property. Shit, man. it's still suggesting you're gonna see downside. I wouldn't be too quick to hop on the long train on something like this. I don't think you're at any sort of extreme probability either. Let's take a look at 15 bars back. Switch these ones. You're at 5%. You're at 5%. Take that as you will. Mom is crossing up while R squared is moving down, suggesting this might be a good cross to ignore. Actually, expectations for Ethereum. We'll take a look at that in just 1 second. We have 8 minutes before the market opens, and we'll be looking at cryptos for sure. Let's take a look at MOEX. Very similar stance. HVZ at the bottom band, likely to go higher up in the very near future. SSR likely to start something new. Volatility still expanding over a longer period of time, but giving you a little bit of a decline in the short term. UK 100 sharing that very low volatility reading as well with the rest of the world. That's the one thing that I'd want to be focusing on for the indices in the next 3 or so months. Probably we'll see that first little juice of volatility within the next 30 days, I would imagine. We don't know how far the volatility will go. We don't really have those assumptions, but it's been very low for quite a while. I'm assuming, yeah, on the weekly you're printing zeros. Very few times has that happened. And you know, we do see that first little bit in this area here, and then we cool it a little bit more, and then we see the big blocks start coming in over a very long period of time. And I think this is actually the Arona dump. Yes, it is. Powerful HVP. All right, China is on the bouncer, likely to start something new on the daily. This is probably what I would want to focus on. The XCM is still suggesting this is a not a market to be participating in right here, right now. Would wait for that to turn blue, as well as the SSR to start moving up to suggest, hey, these the self-similarity here is likely to persist. Probably get you a nice move rather soon, actually. HSI we see in a extremely bearish stance. The due line is actually moving down as price is moving towards it. That's not a very good sign, I would imagine. And also your SSR is now at the upper band here, suggesting that this behavior is not likely to persist. You're getting across on the mom. I would be very careful with this market, as it is still in a very bearish stance. How's Japan doing? Nice tick down on entropy in Japan. SSR out of the top band here. Likely to start some sort of mean reversion move shortly, unless that's already going on. You are getting the dots below the MA now. What can we say about this market? Likely lower volatility in the future. I think we've been saying that since this block has started. We're getting that now. This sort of cooling, drifting environment. Is there any sort of correlation on this? Not anything significant. Not anything significant. I would imagine positive for now. Just going off of the XCM here, probably some upward drift. Don't expect any kind of fireworks from this market. Nikkei, very similar stance, cooling volatility. SSR does have a lot more room to go on this, and entropy now ticking down. Keep an eye on this. All right, let's take a look at the US indices. We got 4 minutes. Yeah, again, very low HVP readings across across the entire world, pretty much. The next 3 months should be quite exciting, I would imagine, filled with fireworks, filled with all the people who are going to say, hey, you know, nobody was expecting this. These are crazy moves. What's happening? What's going on? I don't have a a prediction, if you will, for direction. We can take a look at probabilities for that, but we all know that less likely probabilities do happen as well. They just happen less often, obviously, as the probability would suggest. Likely the probabilities are skewed to the upside. Just going off even the cone here, the drift line is still pointed up. But we've seen that with Bitcoin in this week, actually, when HVP was very low, the probabilities were skewed to the upside, and we ended up taking a step down as HVP is now expanding. So that's something you should be aware of, at least, and hopefully buy some insurance, buy some insurance or structure a volatility trade. Yeah, not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Also from the cone perspective, let's take a look at the S&P 500. Entropy, nice move down in entropy here. Still bullish on this asset in the short term, just going off of the due line, or not the due, excuse me, the XCM line here. Still pointed up, but the volatility is worrisome. I will say that. Could get a rug pull to the upside by all means. Let's take a look at 26 bars back. Yeah, you're not too extreme on the probabilities here. You were riding along the 5% cone. We've seen higher readings, although I'm not sure if it has been from the index or not. It's just on the unlikely side of the probabilities here. Nothing too special about this number. I know that actually Bali was dropping a bunch of knowledge in the Discord yesterday in terms of how your positioning might work for an asset depending on what location of the cone it's in. If you're not in our Discord, come join. A lot of good bits of knowledge are being dropped there. Also, a lot of people are spotting shit that you just aren't looking at. You know, there aren't enough eyes. And it's extremely helpful. Look for the SSR to cross up to denote the start of the next move. Look for HVZ to start pointing up, for the volatility to start expanding, to really set a direction, at least in the short term. Take a look at NASDAQ, very similar. Entropy now ticking down, giving you a little bit more certainty on your tools. And let's actually take a look at like the inverse variance MA. We don't have a hit on that yet, although the variance is slowing here. Also very low volatility. Let's take a look at the weekly very low volatility. I think the SSR on the SPY weekly is out of range. Yeah, it is. So unlikely to persist like this. Yeah, we're oh, that's the market open. How did we open today? I think a little bit down for the S&P 500. Basically flat on the S&P 500. We'll take a look at NASDAQ, a little bit up on NASDAQ. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. So far, I don't want to sort of say because Bitcoin did this, other assets are going to do this. Not at all. Volatility can come into the upside. So far, everything is looking good, including the probabilities, actually. So right now, good to go, but be aware. All right, let's take a look at the cryptos. Starting off with Bitcoin, we did start to see the HVP expand a little bit. The HVZ hidden extreme is now cooling off. I would expect this to get higher and higher readings. You know, we see it changing to different colors as the Z-score gets further and further away. This can give you insight into the HVP, basically, where there are local extremes and where there are extremes to the downside as well. Let's take a look at the SSR. SSR still moving up on this move down. Not very good for the short term, although it doesn't have too much room. How far can this go? We can take a look at the cone for that. For example, you know, you got a 5% chance of getting down to the bouncer line at 47,263. Very much within the range of possibilities here. I'm not calling that in any sense of the word, but hey, could happen. I will probably end up placing some buys there if that does occur. All right, anything we want to say about the entropy here? It is quite random. It is quite random. I think on the shorter terms, you got some very nice occurrences here on the cone. As a trader, you know, this is really the power of the cone here. Let's take a look at 53 bars back. Anonymous cheer, thank you very much. Show yourself. Who are you? Whoever you are, thank you. I don't know who you are, but you've been a pretty big supporter of the stream. That is much appreciated. Many thank yous. Let's take a look at 0.1%. And I actually shouted this out on Twitter as it was happening. You know, there was an extremely tradable event off of the cone here. Come on, please. You know, you go to the casino and they offer you like 50-50 odds of winning, you know, and people play that shit all the time. But the market offers you 99.8% odds of success. We saw a dip outside of the cone here. There was an extremely tradable event of 4%. You even if you didn't capture just that single candle, you know, buying it on the outside of it, selling it back on the inside, 3% move. Powerful 3% a day keeps the poverty away. We're now approaching the bouncer on the 1 hour, and it's actually flipped positive. I think this is pretty much the highest time frame it has flipped positive on in terms of daily and below. So take that with a grain of salt. And is it depending on how this hour closes? Depending on how this hour closes, we'll have to wait and see that. All right, let's take a look at daily. Daily on the XCM is now printing reds, suggesting you're getting bearish momentum here, and to continue to reduce your cost basis until we flip back to blue. I don't care to predict what price we're actually going to see, but for the time being, as long as those conditions persist, I would imagine we're going to see further downside. And I would imagine we're going to see higher volatility, more fireworks in this market as well. At least that's how I am currently positioned. I'm taking a little bit of a loss in the short term, but if you were here yesterday, you heard me talk about, hey, give this enough time, which is going to be about 45 days. We'll see where that goes, with a potential to add more days. I don't think that there is such a thing as a stop loss based on price. We can get into the reasons behind that. I think we gotta take a look at a stop loss if conditions change, if anything changes. So far, I'm just positioned for volatility. I am not betting this in a directional sense at all. All right, let's take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum, very similar stance, but has a lot more room on the SSR to run. You are getting a cross up on the mom, but the R squared on it suggests that, hey, might be a decent idea to ignore this one, at least until we see some sort of expansion in the R squared as well. KXI, we'll take a look at it. We both thank you. Again, probably higher volatility in the very near term over the course of the next 30 days, and probably even higher over the course of the next 120 or so days. That's not an exact metric by any sort of the imagination. It's not something that I've tested. It's just something that I use as a rule of thumb when trading this stuff. Where is the bouncer on this? Is there no bouncer on Ethereum? Maybe I need to go to a different exchange. Who has the most history? The BitMEX? There we go. What? All right, there seems to be something inconsistent with this data here. Maybe there isn't. Polonius, let's take a look. What's up, Smintz? Polonius. All right, the bouncer is actually coming in on the cone drift line here as well. Nice bit of confluence at 3,468. Doing good, man. Just sharing knowledge. Nice, well done. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. We're sitting in a trade right now. This is the hard part where, you know, in the start of the trade, you are, for a lot of my trades, actually, I end up taking a bit of a loss. Obviously not booking it, but in the beginning, I never really focus on getting the best price. I'm just focusing on the right conditions. That often comes with a small percentage loss at the beginning, so I'm in that stage. We'll have to wait and see if that turns into profit. I'll keep you guys updated. Ethereum, very random here. HVP likely to expand. Mom did give you a cross up with a low R squared reading. SSR still moving up, suggesting you're going to continue to see this downward behavior at least for the time being until we can at least get below the MA on the SS itself. Not a good look. Not a good look in the short term. I'm sure it also gave you some good opportunity, nice opportunities off the bouncer on the 1 hour time frame. Still keeping you short here though. It gave you a little bit of the blues, and now it's printing reds again. What's the idea behind the SSR? So it's attempting to measure self-similarity of returns. This is used in place of autocorrelation. The benefit of using SSR versus autocorrelation is that it's much faster, right? Correlations have a lot of lag to them. They decay over time, and so it's I don't want to say that it's inaccurate, but when your correlation is significant, it wouldn't be such a bad assumption that in the future your correlation will not persist, whereas the SSR is much faster. It's much more tradable. You know, we see occurrences on the other side. There's distance too, and if you're interested in this, take a look at cosine distance. I think that's you know, that's basically the starting principle of this this whole thing. But yeah, basically use it instead of autocorrelation, and the benefit is that it's much faster, and it's extremely tradable. You know, if you're getting a direction, especially when SSR is low and it begins to move up, you got a nice few candles here that look extremely similar to the same in the same direction. It is extremely fast, so you know, do some looking back to see how this affects price, because obviously this is on returns. We're talking about price here, but yeah, that's how it's attempting to do it. So similar to Hearst, I'm not the right person to ask about that. I'm not the right person to ask about that. As far as the way I'm using it, I'm just gauging it instead of autocorrelation or negative correlation, negative autocorrelations. Yeah, I think Hearst doesn't give you. It's telling you the current state of the market. It's like extremely powerful at doing that, but I don't think it's so much predictive, and I think it's pretty slow at changing, right? It's trying to gauge the exponent over a much longer period of time. Do some learning outside of the channel, just because I'm honestly not the right person to ask about this stuff. I'm more focused on trading this stuff than I am in knowing the ins and outs of the math behind this. All right, let's take a look at, also on the SSR, there's a couple of more assumptions that you can make, other than, hey, if we're moving up, these are likely to share similarity. Is that when it's outside of the band, the move in this fashion is unlikely to persist. Similarly, if you're in some sort of mean reversion move and it's outside of the band, you're likely to start something new in the near future. Those are kind of the assumptions that I take away from it. All right, let's take a look at also got an occurrence off the 0.1% cone. Nice. This is a good example of it, actually, over here. You know, when you're getting outside of the 0.1% cone, it doesn't mean that you can't get lower prices in the future. It doesn't mean that we're going to reverse right here, right now, or anything like that. It just means with 98% confidence that you're likely to close back above in the cone range. So in terms of trading, you know, this can definitely make you some money. I don't know what kind of odds you guys are looking for on a trade, but 99.8% is pretty damn good to me. It's pretty it's pretty damn good. All right, let's take a look here at the daily. Let's take a look at the 7 days actually, see if we can gauge anything from this. Not much. It's still bullish on the 7 day. I'd assume the 2 day is pretty bullish as well. Yes, it is. Although the SSR does have room to run here, and it's picking up on this down move. Not a very good look for the short term. Not a very good look at all. I think this is gonna continue to persist, at least for the time being. You know, we do have great tools to kind of denote extremes. I don't think we're there yet. I think we're gonna see more downside. I will change my mind if we start, for example, getting a flip on the mom cross for a slowdown of this behavior, or if we start going into some sort of mean reversion here on the SSR that, hey, unlikely to persist in this fashion. Probably gonna do something new in the future. Yeah. All right. Let's take a look. What was Weibo's asking for? KX. Let's take a look at that. Consumer staples. Very kind of similar stance here. Were you at any sort of extreme? No, you are not. Daily still bullish on the XCM. You have a chance here to stop that. Your R squared is expanding as your mom is trending down here. SSR is picking up on this down move as well, and does have quite a bit of room to run. Probably see some downside in the short term. Volatility very low. I would assume it's low on the weekly. Yeah, it is low on the weekly and likely to expand in the near future. I think if you're holding this asset, there might be a better place to begin holding it, if you will. But so far so good. You know, we can't front run these signals. We do actually have to wait for the XCM to occur. So far so good. I'd be willing to bet that you probably see some downside in this. Yeah, just going off those things, they don't have to persist. We'll see if they turn around, but so far it looks like you get a nice chance for cost reduction. Hey Chapin, welcome. Thank you for the follow. All right, let's take a look at Teslas. I think Musk is dumping more shit. XCM still keeping you in this long trade. Entropy still taking down. Volatility still likely to expand. I would be looking for the SSR to start something new, which looks like you're kind of getting that right now. Let's see if we can get the MA to turn up over the course of the next couple of days here. Still in a very bullish stance here. Still in a very bullish stance. You know, you went to some sort of extreme here. You ended up just selling off there. It's not even an extreme, it's like 5%. Likely volatility still expands in the future. I don't think this is quite over. Let's wait for the SSR to start picking up and see if we can get another move to the upside. Let's take a look at, what do we want to look at? Do we want to look at maybe CoinSquare? Now let's take a look at the rates actually. Nothing too significant has happened overnight in rates. The one thing that I've been pointing out for quite a while is this inversion between the 20s and the 30s. What's up, Dogman? Yeah, we'll take a look at AMC. Perfect. The inversion between the 20s and the 30s, not a good look for the economy. This is suggesting some monetary trouble in the near future, especially with all the talk of Fed tapering. You know, we did have a decent spike in rates. This would suggest some trouble down the road, and it kind of lines up with the volatility again. The HVP doesn't give us a directional sense, but it kind of lines up with a volatility bout in the near future, especially on the weekly. You know, so we'll have to Treasury might default 20-year auction today. I don't know. I don't know if the US can default. I actually think that if they tried to default, they wouldn't be able to. I mean, it's the reserve currency. Like it's virtually impossible. They they would have to fuck with a lot of shit. Also, the debt ceiling thing is like, you know, they've been okay 78 times they've had a fight over the debt ceiling. Each time it's been a political battle over the debt ceiling, and they've all pretended like they're not gonna raise it, but 78 times in the past they've raised it. It's literally used as a political talking point, just to get some stuff, and then they do it because it's in the best interest of both. Imagine the shit show if they didn't. You know, it's not good for either political party. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not too concerned about the debt ceiling. When cameras, never at 100k subs maybe, or I make you mod. All right, maybe. All right, take a look at how TLT is doing. Not a good look for TLT. Yesterday, I believe we were suggesting that, hey, you're now below the bouncer line in a bear stance, with the XCM going negative here as well. Your volatility is quite high. Your mom is quite low. Unlikely to persist in this fashion for a long period of time, but still does have some room here. I would be more focused on the positioning of the XCM here, just because it's so close to the line. As long as you're below there, as long as this sprinting reds, I would remain bearish on this. And hey, by the way, you do have decent room to run on your SSR. This would suggest higher yields on the 20-year, which would probably suggest more inversion. All right, we'll keep an eye out on this. Anything from the HVZ perspective? Not quite yet. It's right in the middle of the band there. Not quite yet. All right, let's take a look at AMC. So AMC, we were looking at Market Chameleon, and I think GME and AMC were both on the list of very low IV rank. And we were actually suggesting, hey, you're probably going to see some volatility come into the market. Looks like it's going to happen to the upside. Yeah, AMC can absolutely go for yet another fucking pump here. The right play was to buy volatility. When was this? You know, starting 36 days ago. It looks like you're starting to get this now. Probably over the long the strangle. Nice, fucking powerful. Look at you go. This is the power of options too. You don't have to be directional. You don't have to be direct, which is what I did on Bitcoin. Even though the probabilities were saying, you know, upside, I wanted to fucking dummy long it because I knew the vol was gonna come in and the probabilities were in your favor. But hey, you just play the volatility. Nice, powerful. Yeah, I would expect more volatility. It looks like the SSR has a lot of room to go. This is a move to the upside. Probably get a nice up move here on AMC. Actually, not a bad place to just fucking pick some up. I'm gonna keep this on my list. Good looking out. The flat move. You know, sometimes there's time to sell premium, sometimes there's time to buy premium. Yeah, like you kind of gotta gauge it. All right, let's take a look at GME in the same spirit. I believe this was on the list as well. Yeah, and hey, very similar dynamics. Although the weekly is pretty high there and looks like it's going to be declining. looks like the weekly is going to continue to decline. All right, let's take a look at the daily here. Yeah, I think there's a volatility play here to be had. The SSR is not giving you that immediate move up, although on the due it's making it really easy, be long as these conditions are maintained. And if you know, if you want to reduce your cost basis on something like this, wait for the red to occur to let go of some of your position, cover whatever you want to do. But I think now's the time to continue to be long on this. Nice. Maybe we'll add this one as well, just to monitor how it goes to the red list. I'm essentially like, I'm not going to be trading this stuff because I'm already in positions on the pod sector. I'm in positions on MindMed, on GitLab, on Udemy. Actually, Udemy had a really nice day yesterday. Looks like a bit of a down day today. Nothing to say from the tools perspective. This is way too new, but I'm just holding this as a part of the portfolio. I did end up missing how's GitLab doing? Yeah, GitLab's doing all right. We were buying this stuff at 94. I did miss Rivian. What's up, Goat Lord? How you doing? This one I'm going to be upset about for a while. Hopefully it gives me a chance to enter soon here. Looks like a down day for Rivian. Some volatile, dude. What's happening? What just gave me... All right. Let's take a look at gold. Gold has been doing pretty well over the last week. This is a long from the XCM and the DO. This is actually a set it and forget it at this point. And you got that entry, I believe, all the way out here. Yeah, the latest one came in at 1757. It's been a hold ever since. Nice. Likely some upside. Above the balancer, powerful. And I think silver is giving you that now. Silver is giving you that now. As long as this condition is maintained, you should be looking long. And this is a decent occurrence here. So we'll have to wait and see. But hey, if you own silver, props. There were actually a bunch of coins on FTX too. A lot of shit coins that were giving you occurrences on the balancer from the other side when you know they were moving down to them and then sort of hanging around that price level as well. So check that out. Brand new tool, powerful stuff. Are you converting? Are you fucking converting the price into? All right. So a lot of the shit coins, they're like they're priced in like wrapped ether or on the inverse. So I think this Weebos is trying to convert it into dollars for us. Very, very kind of him. Is it actually $8,700? AVAX time times AVAX USD divided by 1. Did you do this right? No fucking way. It's $8,000. Jesus Christ. All right, so so what we're looking at here is wrapped AVAX versus time inverse, which makes sense because he's trying to gauge the price of time in USD, and then multiplied by AVAX, the price of AVAX essentially in US dollars, and the price we're arriving at is $8,000. Pretty recent addition. I don't think these guys have been out for very long. This is on daily. Yes, they've been out for 2 months. Powerful. Nothing much to say from the tools perspective. I think this is just a buy and hold if you're in this until conditions change, or until we actually get some setups on the volatility perspective. If you want to reduce your cost basis, I know a lot of people are going to be staking the shit out of this. Powerful. Well done if you're in this. Yet again, the power of the Discord. So you're saying there's a chance. There's always a chance. That's the beauty of price. It's random. It's fucking random. All right. How's Comcast doing? Not much movement here. Oh, let's take a look at currencies. Something has happened on the Dixie. The Dixie is now in a bull market. I know this is mostly a basket of of euro versus the US dollar, but still very contrary to that idea that the dollar is just going to die. We have seen prolonged moves on this, although they haven't been that powerful. One was, when did this start? In 2018. We actually did end up having a pretty big dump in 2018. This is the Corona dump, obviously, as everybody sells their asset. Powerful bouncer. Look at that fucking trade. Yeah, let's take a look at British pound as well. Yeah, looks like the dollar is in a new bull market as long as these conditions persist. Actually, 2014 had a massive fucking rally against the euro. A massive rally against the euro. So if you're in currencies, I would imagine that the US dollar pairing has a lot of impact for your trades. I think this is the time to be long US dollar versus other currencies, and I think we actually see that versus the Canadian dollar here. Yeah, you just got over the bouncer here, as well as the ruble, which are the two important currencies for myself. Likely to see more volatility in this market as well. Let's take a look at the British pound. British pound is still quite strong here. Wait, is this okay? Let me see. What's the ticker for it? It confuses me on the futures contracts, because I don't know how it's weighed, whether it's a US dollar versus something or something versus US dollar. GBP, USD. Okay, yeah, so the US dollar is kind of confirming its strength. Yeah, this is suggesting that, hey, US dollar is likely to go higher in the future as long as these conditions are maintained. Likely see more volatility. The SSR is not making it too easy here. You're not printing green dots, although the MA is shooting up here. It does have some room to run to the upside. Look for the green dots to kind of denote, hey, you're likely to see continuation of this type of behavior. But in overall sense, likely to see more volatility, likely to the upside as long as those conditions are maintained. Let's take a look at the weekly, actually. Yeah, weekly confirming that as well. Wow. Pretty outside of the SSR band here. Pretty outside of the SSR band. All right, let's take a look at Litecoin and Snap. How are these guys doing? A bit of a down move in coin, likely to start something new here shortly. Pay attention to that. Earnings came in negative. I guess that's why the sell-off. Yeah, look for something new to start on the SSR. Take a look at Master. Very similar action to Bitcoin here. Am I on daily? Yes. As long as this is red, this is probably a decent chance to reduce your cost basis. I would personally like to take a position on the bouncer if we get there, and further down if we get there too. I don't have very strong opinions on that. You can take a look at probability if you really wanted to. Let's see where the extremes are. 6 bars back. You're on the 5% cone right now. The bouncer is actually coming in around the 1% cone, so probably a decent chance of taking a position there. The SSR is pointing up now, so this is likely to continue, very similar to Bitcoin. Very likely to continue in this type of behavior for the time being, as long as this is maintained. R squared expanding on the mom as well, and it is deeply negative. All right, let's take a look at what else do we want to look at? Let's take a look at the crypto top 100. Yeah, let's take a look at Robinhood. Why not? Pretty new from the tools perspective. We do have the SSR up and running here. Very close to the upper band, not quite there yet with the XCM printing reds here. I would probably wait, probably get lower prices on this in the near future. We can look to the SSR to see once it's outside of there. We can make the assumption, hey, unlikely to persist in this fashion. Probably try and take a position there, but again, very new. We don't have probabilities on this quite yet. We can sample a very low amount of candles, like 78 candles versus I think the 400 that it's sampling, but it's just not going to give us you know, there's better shit to make assumptions on. Essentially, if you want to add this to a portfolio, probably look for this to suggest it's unlikely to persist like this. Maybe look for a mom cross and take a position there, but again, it's kind of flying blind here. All right, crypto top 100. And do I want to go off to FTX? No, probably not. CRO respecting the bouncer. Nice. HVP very high, 16% up day. T Fuel. Oh, this is for Theta. Nice. Actually below the bouncer here. Would not want to participate until we get above. Also, this new tool, extremely useful for gauging, for portfolio building. We're just like because before, you know, you would have to kind of gauge, hey, like is this a good setup from a trading perspective, then add it to your portfolio, then kind of manage it from there. But this, you know, because it's got like a buy and go to the beach mode, you can quickly gauge, hey, we're in a bull market here, just buy some and hold it. You know, for structuring portfolios, extremely powerful. This is not this is not something I would add at this point. I would probably wait on this. Some sort of mean reversion on the SSR here as well. We don't have the due line on Myota. Probably go off a different spot market. This one's been around for fucking ages. No, okay. This is the problem with cryptos. A lot of them don't have the history. Let's take a look. Maybe Tether US. No. Yeah, with the entropy, it does work extremely well. Roku almost getting to that set and forget time weekly ACDC bottom band. Let's take a look at Roku. Take a look at it. All right, I'm gonna come back to this. Let's take a look at Roku. Is this the yeah, I don't think this is getting to set it forget it time. This is getting further and further away from the from the bouncer. Is this the Chinese company? What the fuck did these guys do? Sorry, give me 1 second to see. I think this is the Chinese company, right? The like Chinese Netflix. Streaming players, smart TVs, wireless speakers, hardware, digital media players manufactured by an American company. Roku, excuse me, it is an American company. All right, nice. All right, let's go back. Probably are getting a decent occurrence on the cone. 1 bars. Yeah, you are in unlikely territory here. I would expect higher volatility in the future. HVZ is almost getting to that extreme. Keep in mind that after it starts cooling, it's speaking to volatility, not price. You can continue to get lower prices in the future as HVZ is cooling, and that's actually probably a decent setup, especially if you see volatility cooling. That's something I'll be showcasing later after I've gathered a few occurrences to sort of observe them. Weekly ACDC. I don't use the what is it, average change deviation. Let's take a look, but I believe it's quite self-explanatory. Yeah, this is at an extreme red here. We've seen a couple of occurrences here in the past where they've been pretty damn good bottoms. As far as trading goes, you know, it's not suggesting that you're gonna see a move like this afterwards. It's just suggesting that unlikely to go further in the very near term. You actually got one here that you ended up getting lower prices on as HVP was expanding. So keep that in mind, but this is probably a tradable event considering that it's just approaching the 1% cone as well. Pretty decent odds as far as tradable events go. Nice, good spot. Oh, am I inverted? No, I'm not inverted. All right. God, that would suck. All right. How is AVAX doing? The coin that nobody can ever draw outside of Binance. Doing pretty good. This is now in set it and forget it mode actually. SSR picking up here. Mom going positive. R squared expanding on it. HVP moving up. Nice. Probably see a decent move in AVAX here. Nice. XCM messing around with the band here. Likely higher volatility in the future. CRV below the band would not be an add to the portfolio. Let's take a look at the biggest losers too. We don't have the due line here on Dash. I think we had it on FTX, maybe Dash. Dash perp. There's a bunch of stuff on FTX. Yeah, okay, perfect. There's a bunch of stuff on FTX that was a decent buy off of the bouncer yesterday, and we actually did end up getting a bit of a bounce, but today has to really kind of confirm if that's gonna hold up or not. SSR moving up here aggressively would not be a very good sign for that. Yeah, you guys can go through the FTX market though and spot your own occurrences. I will just say that there have been a lot of them on FTX, so yeah, take a look. All right, let's take a look at nat gas quickly too. How's our energies doing? Nat gas likely lower volatility in the future. SSR moving into mean reversion below the bouncer as well. Likely see lower prices, but not very many fireworks over the course of the next 100 or so days. So we'll have to wait and see for that. This is not an asset that I would just be long on here. I'm not sure if Dogman is still here. I don't know where you own your calls from or what your duration on those is. Probably not a bad time to actually sell some premium against those. If you want to continue to hold them, consider that. Consider selling some premium against your calls, just so you don't bleed theta. Sold your calls yesterday. Okay, gotcha. Okay. All right, let's take a look at oil. We don't have the bouncer. Where's the guy? Yeah, probably a decent chance to reduce your cost basis if you're in oil for the time being. The SSR is likely to do something new here, although it's right in the middle of the band. We actually can't consider that until it's down here, but keep an eye on this. This can flip around at any point in time. XCM has now gone negative, and you got some room till the bouncer. Likely higher volatility in the future as well. How's weekly volatility? Yeah, weekly volatility very low. I wonder how much mutual information Bitcoin has with oil, or with energy in general, I would imagine there's at least some, just because it takes energy to mine Bitcoin, obviously. Yeah. All right, so let's leave you guys with this. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. How's our trade doing? 59,603 is the price. I think we're now also at the first expected move for the weekly. Yes, we are. Turn that off. we're now at the first expected move on the weekly. So play that as you will. If if you do play that in a cooling HVP environment on the weekly, actually I'm gonna hold off on that. HVZ is moving up. I don't want to say it's a cooling HVP environment on the weekly at all. Actually, as long as this is moving up, I'll be considering it an expansion of volatility. You are at the first expected move here though. I have no opinion on whether we get to if we get to the second one, but if we do, it's at 52,515. I think the third expected move on the daily is at 52,403. So those two line up quite well there. Likely more volatility. SSR still moving up, so could expect lower prices as long as this persists. It is getting close to the outside of the band, so it's unlikely to hang around for too long. So keep an eye on the SSR. That's going to be very powerful. I would imagine that's going to come with a cross of the mom as well. And even looking at the shorter term timeframes, they can give you a bit of an earlier indication here. Yeah, so far so good. This is what I'm going to be trading over the next 45 days. I'll keep you guys updated. So far we are essentially bleeding premium, but that's all right. The volatility hasn't occurred yet. Yeah, and yeah, I'm gonna leave you guys look at CRO USDT. Yeah, let's take a look at that. I think we just looked at it actually. It's doing extremely well. Is this what we looked at? Maybe not. Extremely powerful move here. I don't think this is likely to persist in this fashion. I say that for a couple of reasons. One, HEP is extremely high, although this is on the 12-hour. Let's take a look at it on the daily. I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna take that back. You got room on the SSR to run from a daily perspective as long as these conditions are maintained. HVP still in expansion. HVZ looks like it retraced and is about to give you another juicer pump. I'm gonna take that back. This is likely to give you one good shebang. I would consider booking some profits on that move though, as you're probably outside of the cone here. Let's take a look at 0.1%. Last time I looked, there was some significant negative skewness on weekly for BTC. We'll take a look at that. Crypto.com native token yet. Okay. You're approaching some crazy probabilities here. Not that we can't get above them. Not that there aren't more probabilities in the future, but it just... let me put it this way. I wouldn't be taking longs here. Like if you're long already, I would probably consider booking some profit at some point because you did extremely fucking well, and continue to have exposure as long as these conditions are met. Your 0.1% cone for today's coming in at 59 cents. You can go further out on the probabilities or see what it's going to give you, but you know, just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. Like getting above the 0.01% cone would be like getting 13 heads in a row. It can happen, but very unlikely. HVZ going for another expansion here. You know, with SSR having room to run, with the mom going positive, you probably get another massive juicer leg up here. That's then you're gonna have to really reassess. But yeah, I wouldn't be taking a long here, just from a trading perspective. As long as those conditions are maintained though, hey, have some exposure. All right, anything else we want to take a look at? Yeah, I'm gonna leave you guys there. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and I hope you guys make lots and lots of money on your trades. Yeah, don't get liquidated. Only Young gets numbers like that. Fucking true. All right, have an awesome Wednesday, guys.